Hey, my friends. Well, welcome back to the show. This show today is going to be a bit unconventional, and I'm going to maybe rub a couple people wrong, but I wanted to talk about something that I feel is just so important in order to be happier in life and really to get from where you are to where you want to be in a way that is fulfilling. Um, the title of the show could be busyness or being busy is not a badge of honor. So many times I feel like people wear their crazy schedules as like this, oh man, I'm accomplishing so much because I'm busy. But really, in our lives, if we can learn how to optimize our time, that's the real wealth, right? That's what people want. If we look at the law of supply and demand, where something is or becomes valuable is when there's high demand and low supply of that thing. And time specifically is in very, very high demand, but there's not a lot of supply, right? When a minute or an hour is gone, then it's gone forever. We never get that back. And so if we can learn how to really take care of and optimize our time, we're going to be in a wonderful place with exciting lifestyles where we can spend time with people that we love, doing the things that we enjoy the most, and serving people and providing value. And I'm a huge advocate of that. One of the main focuses that I have in my business is helping people enjoy more family time. I believe that family is such an essential unit to a society working well. So I want people to be able to invest more time with their family, experience more freedom, and have more fulfillment. I'm also a big fan of Jesus, right? I love him so, so, so much. I'm so grateful for him. And one of the things I've noticed, in the scriptures, there is not an account in the New Testament of him rushing anywhere, right? Oftentimes in our lives, we feel like we have to be go, go, go all the time. Some people live this idea of I got to wake up at 4 in the morning and grind until 12 o'clock at night and hardly get any sleep and do it all over again like it's Groundhog Day. But I don't ever imagine going up to Jesus and having him be like, "Hey, sorry, I don't have a lot of time right now. I've got this huge public speech I've got to give in Bethlehem, or I've got to get to, Capernaum really quick." It's just he was never in a rush. He always had time for people, right? And that goes very much so in line with this incredible quote from an individual named Thomas S. Monson, and he said, "Never let a problem to be solved become more important than a person to be loved." That's probably my favorite quote of all time. I love it so much. And so I want to talk about things. Now you can take this as a grain of salt, but I want to, or you could really use it, right? It's really helped me. I want to talk about things that have benefited my life in ways I can't even begin to express adequately, right, in the show. But I really believe that you can slow down in your life in order to speed up. I think it's one of the grand paradoxes of our lives right now. So many people are just absolutely enamored and intoxicated with social media, right? They're on their phones nonstop. Their brains are turning to mush. They've got these expectations of what life should be based off of what they're seeing as they scroll. And they're reading posts like, "Hey, if you're not staying at the office until X time every single night, you're not going to be successful." And it's just not true, right? There's a great book by Stephen R. Covey called The Seven Habits for Highly Effective People. And one of the habits that he talks about is this idea of beginning with the end in mind. And in order for you to live a very happy life, you need to think about what you would like your life to be like when you're on your deathbed someday, because that's an appointment none of us are going to be able to get out of, right? All of us are going to have to come face to face with death at some point, and we want to be able to look back on our time here on earth and not have regrets about it. And so many times people are just only thinking about money. Now, money can be a good thing. It allows you to give back. It allows you to do great things with your family, to be able to make memories, but it shouldn't be the only focus or the primary focus. The primary focus should be serving, helping, providing value, developing relationships, helping people that are close to you feel loved and valued and important. And that requires being able to say no to things that don't move the needle in your life, right? Or that don't contribute to that goal of being able to develop relationships, or find the success that you want to be able to find. A lot of times people just kind of run around with, or like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to go to this meeting and this meeting and this event and this event. And I was going to so many events for a while. I just had to start saying no to them. And it has been such a wonderful choice for me. It has allowed me to enjoy life a whole lot more. Now, my schedule is also quite unorthodox for a lot of people, but I will outline it just so that people know kind of what I do. I never liked the idea of feeling rushed in the morning. I feel like the mornings are such a special time for me. And so, what I've done is I've made sure that I don't need to wake up with an alarm. So I very, very rarely wake up with an alarm. My body just kind of wakes me up so I get a good night's sleep. And then I'll go to the gym for about an hour and a half, to 2 hours. And that's a great place for me to kind of decompress. I like to learn while I'm at the gym, listen to a book or listen to YouTube videos or watch YouTube golf while I'm on the treadmill or whatever it might be. And great place for me just to get my brain right in the morning, get my blood pumping. And when I get home, I like to make a really nutritious breakfast, and just relax, right? Get my nervous system regulated and feeling great for the day. And then I usually like to take some personal time to read, just kind of get into a place where I'm able to begin focusing on work. I enjoy a nice warm bath. I like doing that after the gym, being able to read there, just kind of decompress. And then I start my work day. And what's so nice about that schedule for me, and again, it doesn't need to be the same routine for you, but it works very, very well for me, very well, because I'm very excited to work. Work's not a drag for me. It's not something that I dread. I love working. And what's so nice is I leave space in my day for inspiration, right? Those times in the morning, or when I'm able to just kind of let my mind be at ease, wonderful ideas come in and I can figure out how to execute on them. Or I've got ideas that'll come to my mind where I can write something down on my to-do list, say, okay, that's a good thing for me to accomplish today. And then I don't really feel like that I'm running, on a hamster wheel or like Groundhog Day. I love the lifestyle that I have. And that's something that I know everyone can have if they choose to optimize their life for that thing. I made a very intentional decision years ago that I wanted to be at every single one of the events that my future children would have. Now I have a child and I am so grateful because I'm committed to always being at the things that are important, um, to him, right? I want to be at, no matter what he is interested in. If it ends up being golf, then I want to be at his tournaments. If it's basketball, I'll be at his games. If it's chess, I'll go and watch him play chess. Right? I'm excited for whatever he's interested in, and I just want to make sure that I'm there. Uh, and so there's this wonderful image of, I don't know if you guys have seen it pop up. It's been on social media a few times, but it's a wonderful image of a squirrel actually and a big, huge yellow flower. And this squirrel is cozied right up next to this flower with its eyes closed, and it looks like it's just smelling it and just really enjoying the experience. Go look it up if you haven't seen it. Just type in yellow flower squirrel or something. I'm sure it'll pop up. But it's such a wonderful, to me, such a wonderful reminder to really stop, right, and smell the roses. One of the things that I've also been doing is when I'm done with my work day, is I like to go on a walk. And right now it's early spring, and so there's been these beautiful lilacs blooming around where our house is at. And I've got this little um, strap that I can put uh, my baby in, and we just go on this walk and smell the flowers and enjoy the beautiful weather outside. And it's so fun. And I'm so grateful when my sweetheart is able to come with us. It's just an absolute treat. It's boy, it's a special part of life. And if we can live that way more, um, you will be happier, right? Instead of constantly focusing on these endpoints and feeling like I'll be happy when this happens, right? And I get it because I've lived like that too, where when this happens, then I'll be excited about life, or when this happens, then I'll feel fulfilled. But it's so much more exciting and exhilarating in life to be present, to be in the moment, to stop and smell a flower and recognize just how wonderful it is to be able to be outside and having your feet touch ground and smelling something so beautiful and relaxing and being with people that you love, my sweetheart and my baby. And while the sun's setting, I mean, it's just wonderful. I want everyone to experience that. If for a moment here, I won't take a whole lot more time, but I want you guys to understand that again, being busy it's not a badge of honor. And people who think it is will learn as time goes on that it's just not the case. I've used this analogy before, and I feel like it's very helpful in understanding this sort of principle. If you can think of, um, a 5-inch rod coming out of a wall with a bicycle wheel on it with spokes, right? And let's say that the wheel is fastened to this rod, but it's got a bearing, so it will spin freely. And let's say you spin this wheel very, very quickly. It's going fast. And then you picked up a pebble, and you tried to throw the pebble through the spokes. If the wheel is spinning quickly, it's going to be very difficult for that pebble to get through the spokes, if not impossible. It's spinning too fast, right? And so many people in their lives, they want inspiration. They want to figure out what they're supposed to be doing with their life with that wheel going a million miles an hour. And imagine that pebble kind of like an idea or inspiration or um, peace in your life, right? Nothing will get through. Now, if you were just to put your hand up on that wheel and slow it down and almost stop it, just slow the wheel down. You can kind of imagine it just tick, 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 right, slowly rotating around that rod. You are going to be able to easily get a pebble through, right? And in your life, when you're willing to slow down, you'll notice that more inspiration comes. Your relationships will grow. You'll feel happier. It's funny. I'm such a huge advocate of Jesus and who he was and what he taught. And the world teaches to go, go, go all the time, right? That's kind of they literally teach, you got to be grinding all the time. That's such a terrible idea. Um, the idea of grinding, right? Like wearing our lives away in this minutia of stuff that doesn't matter, getting caught up in the thick of thin things is not a great way to live. Jesus says just the opposite, right? Matthew 11:28 through 30, he says, "Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Right? I will give you rest. I think that's amazing to think about. What a wonderful blessing it is to know that we have someone that we can run to that will give us rest, right, from what the world is propagating. And frankly, that I feel what the world is teaching is garbage, right? Jesus says, "My yoke is easy, my burden is light." Right? I love that about who he is. I love him. He's wonderful. And he's the only influencer that I want to listen to or follow. He's just the best. And so it's so important to understand that he just was not in a hurry. And in our lives, if we can emulate that, if we can become more like him, we will be happier. If we can look for people to serve, find people to help, uh, find value in that type of activity, right? Instead of just chasing the next buck. Now, again, it's okay to be able to want to make a we make a great living, which I'm thankful for, but that's not the thing that matters most. My sweetheart matters most. My baby matters most. Being able to help people and serve people and give and enjoy inspiration and revelation from God, right? Those things matter so much. And so I just wanted to encourage you to be able to do that in your life, not wear busyness as a badge of honor. I know that if you choose to kind of take these things to heart, it will make a meaningful and positive impact in your life. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll look forward to chatting with you all soon.